Hey, Hank said, hope you're sorry. This is your boy N.O.R.E.
What up, it's DJ EFN.
And this is motherfucking Drink Cast Podcast. Make some noise!
And right now, we got one of the illest basketball players, one of the best people alive. And he's been doing movies. I seen him in, what's the movie he was in? What movie with Adam Sandler?
Yeah.
You getting Adam Sandler money.
What was that? Yeah, one of the movies.
Yeah. Let's make some noise for Barry Davis. Getting Adam Sandler money. So the crazy thing is, you're one of these people that transitioned, meaning you actually had a illustrious NBA career, and then you actually transitioned to do other things.
Yeah.
How did you come up with that?
I'm from LA, so
Okay.
just
Bay Area?
Nah.
No, what part of
You
LA?
from LA?
What part of it?
I'm still gonna pop my collar.
Yeah. No. We pop our collar for the Bay all day. You know what I mean? But I'm born and raised in LA, South Central, and then I went to private school in Santa Monica. So I always, my grandmother always told me have a backup plan, plan. So I always wanted to make movies and tell stories and things like that, especially because it was like the stories that kept me alive, and that's how I got to. I felt that's how I got to the NBA. You feel me?
Now nowadays, the NBA, it seems a little soft. It seems like back then the Knicks had beef with the Bulls.
Yeah,
and
for
we
sure.
knew that when the Bulls came in town, we're gonna rough them up.
Yeah, for sure.
They're gonna get roughed up. Nowadays, the NBA seems like if you go like this, it's technical foul.
It's been finessed.
It's not the best now. I mean,
Yeah, but when you think about it though, the game gotta evolve, right? The game getting way faster, and so you can't play like you did back in the day, right?
True.
Can't be no Charles Oakley's, because then it wouldn't be no LeBron James and no Kevin
because
Durant.
Charles Oakley be elbowing niggas.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
You can't play that way. So, I kind of came in at the late stage of that where, dudes were still fighting, chunk them and all that.
They
And
elbowed you as well.
Yeah, everybody
you
get
got
elbow,
elbow.
but you got to elbow back. You know what I mean? And it's that's how you earn your respect.
Right,
You feel what I'm
right,
saying? And it was more so a tough thing or a respect thing. And, really it was about the vets. Just like your older brother kind of bullying you as a kid. You feel what I'm saying? And so you learn a lot through that. You feel what I'm saying?
You think you could have survived in today's NBA?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I
because
can play
you
right
think it's
now.
weaker?
No, I can play right now because it's just more suited towards the game that, I could play. You know what I mean? I can shoot, I can pass still, I can drive, I can still defend, I can still, and it's faster. So you're moving up and down the court, and it's not a lot of contact. And so when I played, it was always I had to play in a post, or guard a bigger guard, or, play more than just being a point guard. And so now in today's era, I could probably just be a point guard and be cool with that, or a guard out there.
So Fat Joe had told me the other day, right? I'm hanging out with Fat Joe, and Fat Joe says, yo, being an athlete and being a radio personality is pretty much the same thing. And I'm like, Fat Joe, what the fuck are you talking about? I feel like you're retarded. And then he goes, look, if you're an athlete, you can wake up the next day, you can play for Charlotte, and then the next day be in fucking LA Clippers.
Yeah.
And then the next day, and he's like,
Yeah,
that's
like
how radio personality is.
Jumping
So I
stations.
didn't get it at first.
Yeah.
Now, have you ever been traded to
Hell
a place
yeah.
where you didn't want to be?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, man.
Oh, man, I got
You ain't
traded to
wanna-
Cleveland. So
You
on
want
the
to
Cavs?
be?
you never know. Look, the cold thing about it, dog, is you never know you getting traded, because you see people get traded, you're like, damn, that motherfucker got traded, dog. Like, damn, that's fucked up. You know what I mean? And then, you don't never know you get traded until you oh, shit, damn, it's me. You know what I mean? And I was in the locker room, and so Coach Benny Del Negro, after, we had did the Live City and All-Star Weekend, I was still kind of playing hurt. Blake was still
And
kind
what
of
team
coming
was he
back.
on?
It was with the Clippers.
It was the Clippers.
And so Coach Benny Del Negro was like, man, look, you brought us this whole Live City, this whole thing,
You run Lob City.
we gonna sit you out, you know what I mean, and let you kind of heal, your grandma dying, things like that.
God
We know
bless.
what you're going through.
God bless.
You feel what I'm saying? So we just gonna sit you out. you know, these next couple of games on the road, let the young guys play, because we feel like we got enough next year to like be able to like do something. I'm like, all right, cool. So, you know, OKC game coming, he's like, well, you know, I said I was gonna sit you out, but you know, you don't mind playing. I'm like, I don't, but like, damn, dog, you just told me I was hurt to sit out. I play. So then the next game, we're in New Orleans, and he like, I'm thinking like, all right, I played in OKC, I'm gonna play in New Orleans. He's like, nah, you gonna sit out. And I'm like, all right. He was like, you don't even have to come out. I was like, all right, I ain't gotta come out. You know, I don't wanna sit on the bench, you know what I mean, and be hurt. I'm back in New Orleans, you know what I mean? I don't wanna hear that. So I'm thinking he doing me a favor. Then like halftime come in, somebody like, yo, dog, you heard you getting traded? I'm like, hell no, you tripping, dog. You tripping. I'm just sitting there. I'm just sitting in the back, chilling, waiting for us to get on the plane. You feel me?
And you get a text or a tweet?
Man, I ain't getting nothing, dog. I ain't getting nothing. I'm just sitting in the back, you know, stretching, watching the game and shit. I ain't hearing nothing. I ain't hearing nothing. Then next thing you know, the game started rolling around after the game. And then people like, yo, like, you know, like, it's all quiet and shit.
Wait, so are you saying that your teammates knew you?
No, I don't think they knew.
Okay,
I don't think nobody knew. No,
Okay.
at that time, the only people who knew was the team, right? And the coach. And so my teammates didn't know. And then a reporter said something like, yo, like a reporter was like, yo, you better call your agent because they trying to trade you to Cleveland. Wow. And Cleveland didn't have LeBron. And I was like, oh, hell no. I can't step in and go somewhere else. You know what I mean?
Did they have Steph? No, not Steph. What's the other nigga name? Kyrie.
No, because they traded me and the number 1 pick, which was Kyrie, to Cleveland. So that's how Cleveland got the number 1 pick. That's how they got Kyrie. But I'm sitting in the locker room like, all right, well, shit, let me put on my shit. And then next thing you know, I'm like, man, I'm getting traded. And my agent like, hell yeah.
Now describe that. Describe how it is being like in one city one day, and then the very next day, you gotta go to another city. You gotta get along with people that you was just beefing with, right?
I mean,
or is that not really how the NBA is?
Sometimes, like, you know, but you gotta, you know, you gotta go to work with the same person. You know what I'm saying? And really, like, it ain't really no real beef. You know what I mean? Like, ain't nobody really got no beef with each other. You know,
but
unless it's like,
what's this guy named? Lonzo Ball.
Lonzo Ball.
Yeah. Is that because the very first day, right? He comes in the NBA. And this guy comes straight up to him.
Yeah.
And it was like, I forget what he did.
Patrick Beverly.
Yeah.
Pat Beverly. I forget, and to me, it was like, that's like me welcoming a new artist to hip hop. It's like, yo, look, nigga, you could get money, but it's gonna be rough out here.
Right.
How did you feel when you seen that moment?
I kind of liked it for Lonzo. You know.
For him?
Yeah,
Wow,
for
that's
Lonzo,
real.
because it's like,
It's good for him.
Now it's like automatically, that's what it is, homie. You know what I mean? So he gonna get everybody best. You know, Patrick Beverly gonna be Patrick Beverly.
He's been
and
one
like
of the
he,
defensive
you know, like
players,
that's how he programmed. So it ain't he ain't gonna play nobody no different. You know what I mean? And you know and play that style no different. But with this rookie, you know, national TV, you know what I'm saying? Like. That's kind of like, if I'm a rookie and I'm him, that's kind of, I like that. I want that because I'm going to remember you, dog.
Right.
And I always remember that moment. So once I get the edge, I'm going to kick your ass every time. You know what I mean? I'm going to dog you out once I get better than you, once I get stronger than you. Once you can't do that to me no more, I'm going to dog you out. So, you know, it's just a matter of that should make him want to work harder because that's a measuring stick. You feel what I'm saying? It's like day one, that's the measuring stick.
Right.
Like he a dog, he a wolf. Like I gotta shake him off.
But is that how the NBA used to be? Like when you come into the league, if you're the newcomer?
That's always been my mentality. You know, I think the younger kids is different. You know what I mean? Like because, you know, they're judged differently. You know what I mean? They not judged by diving on the floor, you know what I mean? The heart and the hustle. It's more about the stats, the position, and playing your role, doing other things, you know what I'm saying? And so because they scoring a lot of points, it's more so like when you watch guys, everybody kind of playing in patterns, you know what I'm saying? So it's not a lot of isolation. It's not a lot of post up and things like that. It's a lot more ball movement. And more, they play fast break or secondary fast break basketball.
Now let's get to the elephant in the room. I know me and you is on the same level. You don't even know. Do the Knicks have a chance? Is Paul Zingis? What's that nigga name?
He's nice. He's nice.
Paul Zingas. The fucking unicorn.
No,
The
he's nice.
Do we?
He's
Listen,
nice.
Yo, Baron, you my nigga.
He's
In my
nice.
mind, me and you knew each
No,
other
no,
for a long
no,
time.
for sure, for sure.
In my
Look, let me
mind.
tell you something, dog. He's for sure.
He's for sure.
He's for sure.
And why are they doing better since Melo left? I can't believe this.
You know, one, it's early in the season. You know what I mean?
And Phil
It's
Jackson's an asshole. Let's just throw that out there.
you know,
A little bit.
I don't know.
Phil
You know
Jackson's
what I mean?
an asshole.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely think that Phil Jackson.
I'm gonna
is
tell
Phil
y'all niggas
Jackson.
something.
You
I'm
feel
gonna tell
what
y'all
I'm saying?
niggas
Phil
something.
Jackson is
I
Phil
see
Jackson.
Phil Jackson walking down the street. It's just me and him. And I had to look at him. I felt like I couldn't take him.
Yeah, he you know,
I felt like he was
he
going
be
to
out
win.
of pocket.
I
You know
felt
what I
like
mean? He just out of touch.
I sized
You
him
feel me?
up. Yo, Baron, I sized him up.
No,
and
no.
I said, this nigga might win right now. I said, Phil, I want to fuck you up.
And he put
But
hands
then
on
he
you.
looked at me and said, you better relax. I said, cool.
You better think otherwise, huh?
I let him walk away. I ain't asked for a picture of that.
I remember when you told me
I told you I
that.
just seen Phil Jackson. I said, he was dolo. And I looked at him. I said, Phil, you fucking up. And he looked at me and said, look, little nigga, you better relax.
That's what he said?
No, he definitely
in
did
his
say
eyes.
that. In his eyes, yeah. But, dude, we got a chance. As a Knicks fan, listen, I'm gonna be honest, Baron. I'm gonna be honest. Look, let me finish my statement.
Let me get some more water.
Yeah, you can get water, you can get whatever you want. Listen, as a Knicks fan, we've been disappointed for 20 decades. We just want one chance. You know, as a person who wears Jordans, I really hate that man.
Right.
Because every year, I felt like we were gonna make it.
Yeah.
And then he would hit the last shot. You motherfucker.
Right.
Pippen, everybody, Pippen, he lives in Miami now. I see him. I probably never spoke to him.
Yeah.
I probably never said hi.
Right.
Because the Bulls, they just killed our career. Look, am I lying? Look, you feeling this.
Nightmare.
Do you think the Knicks, do we have even a slight bit of a chance? No? I feel like you better say
To
no.
be honest, I don't know. I always say the Knicks have a chance because it's New York and the heart and the energy of the city.
You being
can
nice to
really
us.
like, nah, I'm being real. Like the fans is crazy, right?
Right.
And the fans could ultimately become the sixth man. You feel what I'm saying?
Ooh.
But I think that
That was
with
hard. You heard me
just
say it?
with New York and just like it has to be like it got to be a fabric. You know what I mean? It got to be an understanding that, you know, this is the Knicks. This is how the Knicks rocking and rolling. This
No,
is
we
New
sucked for
York.
20 years.
You know what I
It's
mean?
true.
And like, you know, it has to be like, no matter if, you know, like one, you can't just keep trying to put pieces together. You feel what I'm saying? Because that's gonna always.
Did you think when they traded Melo that was a bad move?
I don't necessarily think it was a bad move.
Wow.
I don't think it was. I thought it was one.
I was pissed.
I mean, shit, everybody was pissed.
think
You
we
know what I mean? I
overdue.
think everybody
He Puerto
was
Rican,
pissed,
man.
But at the
That's
same
supposed to trade
time,
to Puerto Rican.
I think
Yeah,
that.
he's- Fuck yeah, he's Puerto Rican, man. You don't trade Puerto Ricans. That's not the
It
way this
ain't
works.
that,
Come on,
man.
right, Dreads? Come on.
I don't think it's that, dog. I just think it was.
What you gotta do with that?
He's my friend. I met him just now, and we together already. Like that's it. That's the way it works. What's going on? Nigga got a pink Gap shirt on. He got to relax.
I know.
He's my friend. That's not the way it works.
No, not the swishers.
What? Fab is here? He's here? Bring him in. Bring him in. Paul, get out of the seat. What? I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. All right, don't worry about it. You gotta mic him. Go ahead, mic the nigga now. Listen.
No,
So-
but I this is what it is, man.
Yeah,
It's like
let's
they have to, you know, with the Melo thing. It's like I'm not mad at that trade because it was kind of like it was
mad
coming
at the
to
trade.
an end. And if you can't honor somebody who's like, or figure out a way to like make it right, you know what I mean,
Right.
or make it right for him, then let him do what he needs to do. You know what I mean? He towards the end of his career, let him go get a shot to go play with somebody else. You know what I mean? Be happy and do what he want to do because right now it's not Melo's fault. You know what I mean? It's not. You know, it can't be all on one player. You feel what I'm saying? So it's about like where's the system that protects the players. When you look at Golden State, you know what I mean? You always talking about Golden State Warriors.
Well, he went to OKC.
Golden State Warriors. No, I'm just saying Golden State Warriors.
Right.
Or when you talk about Cleveland, yeah, you talk about LeBron, but it's like the Cleveland Cavaliers, they got a system, you know what I mean?
Well,
and
have
like,
you ever
whether
been
they
to a
trade
system?
or not, the system is in play to win. San Antonio, the system is in play to win. You come here, you plan a certain way.
Have you ever been to a system where you didn't agree with the system, but you got traded there? Let's talk about
I got
it, man.
traded everywhere.
This is Drink Champs. Let's talk about it,
I think
man.
everywhere I got traded was like I started in New Orleans. When I got traded to Golden State, you know, they was like dead. It was like Night of the Living Dead. You feel what I'm saying? So I didn't want to be there. But at the same time, it was just like, damn, like these dudes walking around like zombies. Like they don't even want to play basketball. And I've been hurt. So like, we got to do something. Jay Rich, the only one who really wanted to play. So I was like, shit, man, it's like Night of the Living Dead. And so I didn't want to be there, but, you know, turn it around, I guess. You know, once we got the right coach and it seemed to like start working, you know what I mean? And then when I got traded to Cleveland, I didn't want to be in Cleveland. You know what I'm saying?
No Kyrie, no LeBron.
Kyrie was still in high school, and LeBron had just left. So they had come off like losing 23, 24 straight. So it was like,
Cleveland was
like, man,
not a
come
great
on, man.
place to be.
But went to Cleveland, made the most out of it. You know what I'm saying? And like, you know, they turned it around after that. You feel what I'm saying? So it didn't really matter. Like, I think when I went to the Clippers, that was probably the worst kind of system that I went to.
And you was under Sterling?
Yeah.
Because let me just tell you something. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I was trying to get an apartment in LA. My credit is horrible. Nobody approved me. The only building that approved me was the Sterling building.
Because you pay cash.
So
Because you pay cash.
I hit my manager, Ali, and I'm like, yo, I'm gonna sit here. He's like, you can't move to Donald Sterling's building. And I'm like, what? He's like, that's like moving in a trunk. And I'm like, oh, yo, I did everything but sign my fucking name to the fucking check. And he's like, you cannot move there. And he called Magic Johnson a nigga. Like, how do you call, like, out of everybody you could call a nigga, I just feel like Magic get the pass.
Yeah.
Like, you ain't supposed to call, like, he's not supposed to be a nigga. Like, I went too far? How you call Magic a nigga? Like, when did you, as a person who played for an NBA team, as a person who played and know the politics, when you heard that, were you shocked or were you like,
No,
this is normal?
I wasn't shocked at all.
What?
When I got there, what shocked me is when I got there and when I did my press conference. It was almost like the movie The Devil's Advocate. As soon as I come off the press conference, the chief dude of like communications said, hey man, he may say something to you, you know what I mean? I know you from here, but he may say something to you that may be out of pocket or something.
Oh,
I'm
damn,
like,
they
man, what
prepped
you
you
talking
for
about?
that
I'm
Oh,
like,
you
man,
talking about when you was playing for the Clippers?
No,
That's
I'm
crazy,
talking about
dog.
after I announced, after I gave the speech and whatnot. What? Because I didn't know, you know what I mean? I'm like, yo, I'm coming back to LA. I'm about to get it rocking. I'm going to turn it around. You feel what I'm saying? Like, no matter what, like, I'm not thinking about who the owner is. I can give a fuck about who the owner is.
And
You feel
so
what
they're
I'm saying?
warning you about the
Man,
owner.
he said, yo, he gonna say some crazy shit. I said, man, he ain't gonna say no crazy shit to me. Like, he ain't about to say shit to me. But then, like, every day you live in it, dog, you realize, like, oh, shit, this is like a dictatorship. You know what I mean? And people say, like, the man's racist. It's like, that man hate everybody. You feel what I'm saying? He don't have no respect for nobody. So it's not, it's like, racism is a short word to describe him. You feel what I'm saying? That's like a cop-out word to describe him and like the way that the whole system was being ran. So for me, it was just like, no bullshit. After my first year, I went to Africa. I was like, you know what? Like, either I'm gonna do something crazy or I need to go somewhere where I feel like I need to appreciate everything that I have as a black man in America. And so I went to Africa, and I went to Africa like 3 or 4 weeks. Wow. And just was like, I needed to see something else. You know what I mean? I went to Tanzania, Rwanda. Man, and it just kind of like low-key like changed my life.
Rwanda, that's where like the
Yeah, where they had a
guerrillas,
genocide.
yeah.
Yeah, we had a genocide, and then like you see.
Right now, you see what's going on in Liberia?
Libya.
Libya?
No, Libya with the slave.
With
Yeah,
the
with the slave trade.
Yeah,
it's
that's
like,
crazy.
Yeah, I mean, look, man, it's like when you look at the world, you know what I mean, and we look at ourselves here in the United States, and we all privileged. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, and we don't know shit. You know what I'm saying? And we don't know shit until we go outside the country and really see how people really live, and like the shit that they got and the resources they use, and like how appreciative they are for life. You feel what I'm saying? And so that's what taught me about, like, dude, this ain't no dude, no racist. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
What'd you say?
I'm big,
Say that
like
again?
Donald Sterling. It was like, he ain't no racist. I'm bigger than him.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so, one, I'm letting everybody know, this man racist, dog. And you, homeboy, you better not say shit to me. You
Right.
better not say shit to me.
Right.
You better not say this shit to me. I'm going to sit here, I'm going to hoop as much as I can, but I can't come to this arena knowing that I'm trying to win games, knowing that he going to win. So I'm
Right.
fucked.
Right.
So I can't play. You feel what I'm saying?
So let me ask you something, because I know you got to get up out of here. When the people start kneeling, big up Colin Kaepernick, because I feel like he doesn't get his just due for what he. So people started kneeling, right?
Yeah.
And now the kneeling things kind of got out of controversy, because the thing about it is now they're focusing on the kneeling, but the kneeling part was to promote police brutality, police injustice. It was like, you know,
To protest and not promote it, to protest
the
it.
innocence of the innocent killings of unarmed black people.
Right.
And when they started kneeling, what happened was people start to focus on the actual kneeling as opposed to the actual protest of what they were kneeling for.
Right.
How do you feel about that?
I mean, it's the great big distraction. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that, you know, it's like, it's easy to run where the glow is. It's easy to run where the line is. It's easy to run where everybody running to, you feel what I'm saying? But to not understand. And so my whole thing is, what's the solution? Right? What's the solution? So, you know, we kneeling, that's cool. We showing that we protesting, we showing that we standing up, we expressing ourselves, we expressing our rights, but what's the solution? You know what I mean? Because when it's time to meet, and it's a meeting of the minds, like who's there with a plan and saying, you know what? All this killing gotta stop, how do we fix it? You feel what I'm saying? Instead of like, man, what are we, and not to disrespect no movement, you know what I mean? But I think that for us to like keep rewriting the same playbook of protests, you know what I mean? When like we look at the power that we do have within ourselves, we can rewrite the system by just looking at ourselves differently. You feel what I'm saying? How do you stop police brutality? I say, let's educate these kids and let's educate them to grow up to want to be policemen in their community.
Police yourself.
Yeah, because if you grow up, right, and one of your best friends from elementary school is a policeman, you feel what I'm saying?
You respect him a little bit
right.
more.
But I know your story.
Yep, exactly.
So I know your story, you feel what I'm saying? But we don't look at opportunities or the jobs, and not that these are opportunities that exist. We gotta go out and we gotta figure out the solution. How do we create these things to stop us from being looked at, you know what I mean, in this position? You feel what I'm saying?
You know what's different from when I grew up, EFN and Barron, was like the police used to fuck bitches in my hood. Right?
Man, they regular people too.
So they was regular
You feel what I'm
niggas.
saying? They regular people
So
too.
they identified, like we knew that nigga, but what's up, nigga? Like,
But
nigga,
like,
I
dog,
seen you
dog,
with
yeah.
your pants off. You gotta relax.
But think about it. You
Like,
get somebody
he
from
ain't gonna arrest me.
Cincinnati, right? You
a
get
different
somebody
kind
from
of community
Cincinnati,
policing.
right?
Yeah, now
or you
you
get
get-
somebody from the South who police different. Now you get shipped to New York, right? He get traded to New York. You feel me? Now, the way he was policing down south, he gonna police in New York.
Exactly.
Now he come to your hood, right? When your homeboy that you went to school with was supposed to be the police in that community.
Yep.
You feel what I'm saying? Now he come there, and now when he run into you, you know, it's a whole confrontation thing, because he don't know you, you don't know him, and now
Right.
you mean confrontation. You feel what I'm saying? So it ain't no understanding. You feel what I'm saying? It's always a misunderstanding, because we don't create enough solutions for us to understand ourselves and for people to understand that we more than just a motherfucker sitting on the street corner, or you know what I mean? It's
Exactly.
like, you know, and big ups to you for doing this show,
Right,
for
thank
like, you know, giving light to people, you know what I'm saying? To be able to, like, you know, speak their ignorance, speak their peace, whatever it is, you feel what I'm saying? So, you know,
$1 million thing
$100 million.
Wait, $100 million? You got $100 million?
You want a mic?
Come closer
You
to
want
me.
a mic?
You got $100 million?
The NFL is giving $100 million to causes to get the players to stop kneeling. Oh, damn.
Oh.
It was a big article in the New York Post.
Hell no, I didn't read that one.
Oh no, I ain't read
They're
that.
giving out. They're basically saying, "Hey, we're gonna put $100 million towards these problems.
See, but here's the deal.
Awareness to get y'all to stop kneeling."
Because I know Barron got to go, so but here's the deal.
Yeah, man, it's like, you know.
If they would put that same, because the thing about it is this, we're not lying. We're not making these stories up.
No,
this
not
is
at all.
actually happening.
Man, all the time.
Innocent black people are
All the
being
time.
murdered
All the time.
every fucking day
But
by
we
the hands of the
forgot.
police.
Right, but we
So-
forgot.
Go
We
ahead.
forgot. We forgot because it became a Trump thing and it became against the flag. And now you disrespecting America. You feel what I'm saying? And so it was like, hold on, fuck the police. You disrespecting America. We're gonna make it about something
they
totally
deflected it.
different.
Yeah, they deflected
Right? And now everybody started kneeling for different purposes, different reasons. And what's the solution?
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, I think that we living in a world because of like, we got the power of social and viral for us to understand and have a better perspective of what's going on in the world. But at the same time, like we can get caught in the web of just following shit. You know what I mean? And shit can just become viral. You know what I mean? And so you run the risk of positive things happening, negative things happening, things getting misunderstood. You feel what I'm saying? And so you get further and further away from actual solutions. You know what I mean? Because it's like, it's an America thing. You feel what I'm saying? And like, you know, black, look at us. Look at this fucking room. You feel what I'm saying? Look at this
Every
room.
nationality.
So you can't tell me.
We
you
like
can't
United
tell me.
Nations.
Yeah, you can't. Like we
Like
ain't
every
no. It
nationality.
ain't no minority,
hip-hop, it's
homeboy.
hip-hop.
You feel what I'm saying? It ain't no minority. But if you grow up and you believe you the minority, you feel what I'm saying? You gonna always feel like you gotta fight to, you know, like we the fucking, as far as I'm looking at it, we the majority. We all look and working on this shit and coming together and doing the same thing. You feel what I'm saying? So that should just be a distraction, man. You feel me?
Now, how did you get in the Adam Sandler movie? Because Adam Sandler only fucks with his people. That's it. He don't fuck with new niggas. I'm gonna apologize. You gotta relax. So, how? Because I think you've been in like 3, right?
I think like one, like a commercial.
You was a
and a
semi-pro
movie.
too,
Yeah.
right?
No.
You didn't, what movie?
That was Will Ferrell's semi-pro.
Oh,
It was,
yeah.
That's my boy with Adam Sandler.
Okay,
and
that's my
Sandler,
boy.
like we just started hooping together in New York.
damn.
And that's like the big homie, man. That's like big bro.
He tried to
love
say
hoop.
that very nonchalant. Did you hear? He said it. We just thought, nigga, you play ball with Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Let's rewind that, nigga. That's,
Hey, look,
that's not
hey,
normal.
hey.
That's not normal. Nigga said, I was just playing ball with him. So that's how y'all started.
Yeah, and he just passed me the ball all like he liked to dribble and throw dimes. He played like Steve Nash. Shoot the ball all the time. We was in the New York Sports Club, and so he was like, man, I was like, yo, I'm a big fan, yada, yada. And then we got a lot of ties in LA, so, you know, I was always sweating him like, yo, let me put me in a movie, man. And I always walk by his office, hey, man, yeah.
And what was your first movie you did?
And That's My Boy was my first movie, but we did a commercial for like the NBA and his movie, The Zohan, and that's how we like, we had to do it for the NBA. And he was like, yo, you funny. And I was like, man, thank you, dog. And then he just started like looking out for me every time. Like, yo, you want to do this? You want to be in this? And I'm like, damn, dude. You know, it's a blessing because he really like fuck with me and think like, yo, this dude funny. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So, like, because a lot of people, like, one-track minded, meaning you got one thing to do. So how did you come up with that intuition to say, you know what? After I'm done with ball, I want to, you know, experience with that. How did you even come up with that?
For me, it was more so like, that was a, you know, once your body wear out, like you use your mind. And, you know, for me, basketball was never really like physical. That's why I always played hurt, because I didn't give a fuck. It was just like a release, and it was more about creativity. You know what I mean?
Wait, hold on, I'm sorry. You said your body gives out? This is true?
Yeah, your body break down. I mean, you look at athletes, and eventually, like, you just can't perform.
Like, I feel like I could beat Tiger Woods right now. Like, I'm just throwing it out there.
Man,
no
way.
In what?
In
No
golf,
way.
right now,
No
fuck Tiger
way.
Woods up. I just
No
feel like
way.
he lost it.
Man, he gonna step on the golf course. You gonna look at him. You gonna be like, damn, just like you did with Phil Jackson. You gonna be like, damn, I don't want this thing. Fuck that, Tiger. You know what? I'll be your caddy, dog.
Nah, I've been looking at Tiger. Tiger look like Tiger taking pills, man. Tiger on ecstasy, man. Hey, listen, I should take ecstasy. I know Tiger's on ecstasy right now.
Give him a pill, you probably beat him.
I just want. But you're saying your body does actually.
Yeah, your body break down, man.
Yeah.
Like you train, but like you just can't perform at, sometimes the pace and the level, you know what I mean? Because the game is getting faster and faster, you know what I mean? So you have to be, smart about how you train and as you get older, but eventually like, your body's gonna break down. Wow. And like every athlete say, you ride till the wheels fall off, you know what I mean? Because it's the one thing that you grew up with, it's the one thing you love. I mean, that's a controversy around football. You know what I mean? Like, how do you tell a kid that's been doing this all his life that he loves this? You know what I mean? This is like what he has to like stop. And it's like hard, even though it has health restraints, you know what I mean? So it's just like, it's crazy because it's like an outlet and it's like the only thing that we had. So for me, it was just like, damn, I could use my mind. Basketball dudes got crazy stories. We tell crazy stories. Dudes is funny. And I'm already in LA, so I'm gonna go into movies and making movies and like.
Very smart.
Yeah, so that's what it was.
So this is the last question I got because they're trying to wrap us up. Do they smoke weed in the NBA?
I mean, not inside the NBA.
Like a trick question.
Not in the NBA. Not like in the NBA. You know what I mean? I think like the commissioner and like the people in the NBA, they don't smoke weed. But
the players, they get busy.
Whoever smokes is what he said.
Yeah, I'm basically it's like to each his own. You know what I mean? I don't know who personally smokes.
No, you don't.
Like I don't.
You ain't got to snitch.
Yeah, but like if you smoke weed, you smoke weed. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. But look, how could it be legal in LA, but it's illegal for an athlete? I don't like that.
Honestly, I think like the rules will change because it's like. Man, you play so hard. You feel what I'm saying?
You need some smoke.
Man, sometimes you need to
your
body needs to calm down, or the CBD oil, and it's known to like be
the Baron know what he's talking about.
A healing. You know what I mean? It's known to be healing.
It said CBD oil.
So all that shit, all that shit. I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying. The rules gonna change, bro. The rules gonna change.
The rules gotta change.
The rules gotta change because it's like it's a high demand on your body, dude. It's high stress. It's not a lot of sleep. You know what I mean? And like, I'd rather somebody smoke weed than take pills. I'd rather somebody smoke weed than become an alcoholic and become a drunk.
That's
you know
true.
what I mean?
That's
and
true.
then when you look back in the history of like all the great players who fell to alcoholism and pills and cocaine and shit, maybe if they had some bud, that's all maybe they wanted. You know what I mean? Because that ain't known to like cause you to, I ain't never heard nobody.
Nah, niggas don't suck dick on weed. This is true. It's true.
Yeah.
Before we get to the Black Santa, do you think that Kaepernick should have talked more? Because I feel like that was kind of a mistake. Like he took a stance and then he didn't explain his stance.
Absolutely.
Is that a problem? And we get right into Black Santa.
Yeah, you know what? I think even it should have been a solution. It should have been a preparation for it. You feel what I'm saying? And I think that, what he was doing was what was true to his heart. You feel what I'm saying? And like that's what his purpose and his goal and his mission was about. And then I think that everybody else started putting spices in the gumbo. You know what I mean?
Because after Trump said, "These sons of bitches."
Which is way later.
But that's way later. You know what I mean? That's way later, dog. That's way later.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's way later. And that's the whole thing about like the viral thing is like, where was everybody a year when he was doing it? You know what I'm saying? And now
he don't have a job now. That's kind of terrible.
And he's still fighting a good fight. You feel me? He's still fighting.
So let's get into Black Santa.
No, so Black Santa to me is like a solution. And so, like traveling the world, and it's like, man,
So you have a black guy show up like Santa?
Yeah, so it's a black. So
I feel like I should be Black Santa. I'm just throwing it out there. I got a stomach.
You are.
Yeah,
you
let's
are.
do it.
Anybody can be Santa.
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying? And so that was my whole thing is like, why does Christmas have to be told with a certain type of stiffness, aesthetic, and a look and a feel? You know what I mean? When somebody created that. So why can't I create? And I ask you the question: do you know a black man that's jolly all the time? friendly, you can trust, you can depend on, and you can make wishes to. You know what I mean? Like, we don't have that. So as kids, as adults, we don't have that imagery. And so for me, it's to like go in and to look at, you know, storytelling, to look at, you know, from a kid's perspective, you know what I mean, from a family's perspective, it's how can I give you an image and then create through this vision and in this world of inclusion, this world of diversity through this black man's eyes. Because a black Santa don't just have black people around. You feel what I'm saying? Right. You know what I'm saying? And so like that's the story we want to tell, and basically kids get to see themselves and they get to see their dreams and wishes and have somebody that they can believe in and trust
identify
in.
with.
You feel what I'm saying? And identify with every time that holiday season come around. And so, you know, I created this this Black Santa character and this company basically to be able to tell stories of diversity, you know, Latino Cinderellas, you know what I mean? Just, you know, everything.
Drink champs.
Everything.
Get your
you know
wallet
what I
out,
mean? So,
EFN. I feel like we got to donate. I just feel like it.
Let's do it.
I feel like it's coming.
What is it you putting out, like merchandise and stuff?
So storytelling merchandise, we're releasing a mixtape. So the mixtape is coming out in a week, a Christmas mixtape.
Black Santa?
Yeah, so Black Santa is releasing a
That's dope.
mixtape.
Black Santa,
And then we
nigga.
got merchandise,
I wanna
so
meet that
ornaments, wrapping paper, you know, blacksanta.com. He around, you know, pop up. He'll pop up on you, you know what I mean? And so we just really just building the movement and the growth where it's gonna be education-based, entertainment-based, in a world where we can all utilize each other's talent to like spew out a bigger message and bigger.
Well, let's make some noise for Black Santa, goddammit. And before we let you go, I'm gonna throw something out there. Yesterday, I woke up, I had 4 gray hairs. Oh my God.
Dog.
You got,
Dog, I got
you
one.
dying?
Hey, dog, I had one right here and the shit. I was like,
you got one over
and
there.
No, I
Wow.
got like
You
5
only got
now.
one.
No, I had one right here and the shit was sticking
at
out
him.
that way. That shit
woke
felt
up
like
and
it
I
was
had
that
all
long.
this
Yeah, look at his shit, man. He's disrespectful.
But his is polished. You know what I mean? They got flow. I got that one. I was like trying to cut that motherfucker. The shit kept
My
growing.
shit dyed
You feel
itself
what I'm saying?
backwards, yo.
Man.
Yo, I woke up. I told my wife. I was like, "Oh shit!" I kept trying to plug it, and my wife had a fucking scissor. Like, what is she running around with scissors for? And she cut my
fucked
shit.
up, dog.
And then I woke up and I had 4 right here. I was like, "Ah!"
Man, somebody was like,
old,
yo,
man.
how old are you? I was like, man, I'm 38. Like, damn, dog, I'm 38. And I look in the mirror, I got gray hairs. Like, damn, I got gray hairs, dog. Like, I feel good. You
No,
feel
I
what
feel
I'm
good,
saying?
too.
But
I
the
just
gray
gotta
hairs
shave.
remind you, like, homeboy, like,
It
you've
just,
been
it just
through
reminds
you
me I
feel
gotta shave every day.
Man.
Yo, listen, make some noise for the legend Baron Davis.
Appreciate you, bro.
Motherfucking legend, all-star, great, motherfucking LA. We gotta show this man some love. Make some noise!